Good afternoon, everyone. Before we begin, we will have to set some house rules for our fellow JPNs. First, we request everyone to please turn off your videos and microphones unless you want to ask our speaker for some questions. Second, in connection with number one, if you feel anxious about turning on your videos or microphones, feel free to use our chat box and we will be the one to ask it for you.
So hi everyone, for our number three house rule, avoid spamming because we don't want internet connection and lagging to occur during this webinar. Also, we would like to remind everyone to be polite at all times. And lastly, the most important one is sit back and relax, grab your pens and papers as we are about to learn new things for this afternoon webinar as we adapt to online education.
All right, now that's correct, Abby. Now, for the participants who just entered the meeting, you may still register for this webinar by clicking the registration form link that can be seen in the chat box. In a moment, we'll be starting our webinar, so please settle down.
Yes. So before we start the formal webinar, I would like to call on Crisia De Leon for our opening prayer.
Let us put ourselves in the holy presence of the Lord. For the non-Catholics, let us do what is necessary. For the Catholics, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Our most gracious and loving Father, we praise and glorify your name. As we come into your holy presence, cleanse our hearts so that we may become worthy unto your sight. Forgive us from all the shortcomings we have done that made us distant before you. We thank you, Father, for the gift of life, the gift of salvation, and for the new day you have given us. We thank you for the provision that you have provided us throughout our webinar series. As we start this webinar, may your Holy Spirit dwell among us. Bless our speaker, who will be sharing us informative and motivational message that will enlighten and help us students to cope with the sudden shift of the academic paradigm. May you also bless the ones who organized this webinar and most especially the participants who will be gaining insights from this event. We surrender everything to you, Father. This we ask in your most precious name. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Oh, me? Migs, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Or nakamute pala ako, Abby, sorry. So thank you so much, Miss Dayon. So now, to formally start our program, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of our captain Joshua Fiagan and the rest of the Sutanawa crew, I'd like to welcome you aboard to the Sutanawa Airlines Flight 2020 with a non-stop service of transcending borders in partnership with SciSip Gores Vilayo and Co. and Premier Professional Development Center.
Yes, we will arrive at our destination of ending this part one of our academic festival webinars at an approximate flight time of 3 hours. We look forward to ensuring this journey with us today a pleasant and carefree as possible. Because I am Claire Abigail F. Gonzalez.
And I am Juan Miguel de Castro, and we are your attendants for the webinar entitled Adapting to Online Education.
Yes. Okay. Hi guys. Did you enjoy our morning webinar kanina? Our desk. Oh, hi Alondra. So, our morning webinar destination is about mental health amidst this pandemic. Guess what? This webinar will also be about you and your online education. So, are you ready? Are you ready? Yes? Are you? Are you?
Yes, I think everyone is ready here, Abby. In fact, ang dami nga nila eh. Ilang participants ba tayo ngayon? 82 participants and counting. So, well, the number is pretty overwhelming. So, speaking of the participants, yes. So, this time, to check our attendance here, as we call your institution, you may turn on your mics and make a cheer or send a message in our chat box. Or you can also do virtual claps, just to check kung ilan bang present ngayon. Okay?
Yes, let's check their energy meter kung meron pa bang energy nito kasi hapon na wag na kayo matulog guys. Wake up people. Let's start with oh, let's start with the Assumption College of Nabunturan. Nandiyan ba kayo people? Guys, hello. If you are there. Yes.
Hi.
Ayun, hi there. Hi. Okay, from our next institution na masyadong marami sa ating live stream, Ateneo de Davao University. Ta-da!
Hello.
Hi!
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, wow. Oh, how about the Core Jesu College? How about you guys? Let me hear you. Meron ba?
Baka tahimik nila.
Parang
Ayun,
tahimik.
meron,
Ayun, meron,
meron.
meron.
Oo,
Yun.
meron.
Hindi ko
Hi!
nakita. All right, hello. And next we have from Holy Cross of Davao College. Meron ba?
Diyan yun sila.
Holy Cross.
Mag-ingay. Woo!
Mag-ingay kayo dyan. All right,
Nahihinga ata.
okay.
Okay, let's proceed to our next institution, Jose Maria College. Kawai, kawai, clap, clap, clap. Are you there? Ayun, hi, Mitch. Next, how about let's hear the voice of our new participating local chapter, Lyceum of the Philippines University. Nandyan
ส
ba
วัสดี
kayo?
นะคะ
Oh my gosh! Sawadee ka! Ang cute.
Ayun, may pa sawadi ka pa tayo ah. All right, so it's actually nice to see new participating schools for this webinar. I mean, we would like to welcome LPU to the NFJPA Region 11. So welcome guys. Welcome LPU. And another new participating school, please help me welcome Malayan Colleges Mindanao. Meron ba? From Malayan Colleges Mindanao?
Ayan, tahimik nila.
Ang
Wala
tahimik.
pa ata.
All right, sa
Kung
part kong
nandyan na
tahimik.
kayo. Oh, if
All
you're
right.
on live stream, hi sa nag-watch ng live stream natin ngayon.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Aside from Malayan, we have St. Mary's College of Tagum. Meron ba?
Ooh, from
Saint
Tagum. Anyong.
Saint St. Mary's College of Tagum. Okay.
Yes. So, nakapunta na tayo ng Tagum. Let's go back to Davao City. Hello, University of Immaculate Conception. Tada! Hi! Yes, hi Edsel. Oh, ang pinaka-active natin na supporting participant galing pa sa webinar number 1. Next, all the way from Digos City, University of Mindanao, Digos. Annyeong! Hello, people! And lastly, from my local chapter, yes, University of Mindanao, Maine.
Hello!
Hello!
Hello po.
Hi, everyone! Ah,
Ayun, ang dami ah.
Oo, marami.
Alright. Mahal kong UM. Alright, for how about from UM Panabo? Meron ba? From UM Panabo?
Oh,
I think wala. Meron
wala
ba?
pa ata sila.
Wala pa ata siya.
Baka mamaya
Eh,
pa.
coming pa.
Yes.
And last but not the least, UM Tagum.
UMTC, annyeong. Hi, Daisy.
O yun.
Okay, yes naman, ano? Medyo marami-rami na rin tayo ngayon. We are actually blown away by the number of participants in this webinar. Currently, we are 83 we have 83 participants and also hindi pa kasali doon ang na live stream sa ating YouTube. And we would we would like to thank each and every one of you for participating and your time, even though it's kind of hectic, but thank you so much for being with us here today.
Okay. Yes, you're actually correct, Abby. And the number of participants is pretty overwhelming. 83 participants, right? We
Yes.
have 83
84,
participants.
83
and
83 ulit.
84 and counting. Okay.
Yes.
83 and counting. All right. Parami ng parami. And these participants are coming from different local chapters. So now I'm getting excited sa mga upcoming events pa natin after this webinar. Now, back to our topic for this webinar, Abby. Let me ask you a question.
Ooh.
How are you during this sudden shift to online platform? How was your experience so far?
Oh, my experience. Okay, so actually, it's kinda okay, but yes, Yulo is flooding me. Hi, UM, kung sino man yung naka-flood ng Yulo dyan and their FA. So, laban lang tayo, guys, because we can adapt and we can adjust naman, di ba? We can balance our time. Accountants tayo, di ba? Laban lang. So, how about them? Ayun, sana all daw. Hi, yes. Ganyan talaga, sana all talaga kapag we should balance our time talaga. Especially
Ano?
nasa online lang tayo. Pero, nami-miss rin natin yung mga classmate natin, di ba? Nami-miss niyo ba?
Yeah.
Hindi ata nila na-miss yung mga crush nila na katabi nila or yung madaldal nila mga katabi, ano? Oh my gosh! Oh, BT Akaz, I miss you daw, sabi ni Faye. Mas na-miss nga ako, charot. Ang ingay ka talaga. Char.
Ayun, napaka-active ni Abby ah. Ganun dapat. All right. So yes, I've already heard your opinion about your experiences online class. How about let's ask our participants right now. Let's hear them. How's their experience during their online class? So any volunteer to share their experiences about online class? Anyone?
Volunteer pa ba? How about
Kung
si Faye
ayaw,
Allen? Ayun, Faye
ay,
Allen, hi!
or from Edsel.
Ayun, tiring
Tiring but
but
fun.
fun. So, asa si Faye? Faye!
Uy!
Uy!
Hello, guys!
Hello! So, kamusta naman?
Okay lang. Lumalaban.
Ganyan na
So,
talaga, lalaban lang.
yes, and with regards to my online class experience, especially that my school is adopting a different academic policy wherein 100% yung aming summative assessment, it's very difficult and the pressure is really on, especially na ang retention policy din ng school is very over the top, no? So, kailangan i-balance ang everything. I-balance mo lang ang kung ano dapat ang subject na i-study mo now, dapat i-focus mo because again and again, Thanks.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Faye. And from Ezel again, challenging but still worthwhile experience. Yes, actually this is kind of new to us. Oh my gosh, nasa mall pala si Faye. Hi there. Okay, so thank you so much for participating. Yes. So, Migs, are you there?
I'm here, nakamute again.
Ay,
All
again?
right. Okay, so well, it's so nice to hear different experiences coming from our participants. So laban lang guys. Okay. So and guess what, Abby? Our speaker is now in the meeting.
Right
So
now? Nandito na?
yes,
Oh my
dito
gosh.
na. So it's our honor to introduce our guest speaker for today.
So yes, Mig, let's now call on our VP for Communications and Media, Mitch Crisobolosan, to introduce our speaker for this flight.
Thank you, Abby. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce our speaker this afternoon. Our speaker is a graduate of Ateneo de Davao University with a degree of Bachelor of Science in Accountancy in 2013. She completed her Master in Business Administration, major in Corporate Management, at the University of Southeastern Philippines Graduate School of Business Advanced Studies in 2019. Currently, she is pursuing her Doctor of Philosophy, major in Development Research and Administration, also at the University of Southeastern Philippines College of Development Management. A member of PICPA Davao Chapter and NACPAE, or National Association of Certified Public Accountants in Education. Without further ado, please help me welcome Ms. Rachel K.B. Mosqueda, CPA, MBA.
Thank you, Mitch, and to Claire and to Migs, right? Juan Miguel. Okay, so I will start this afternoon's talk by answering the question, why did I accept the invitation to talk to you today? I think when Joshua approached me and Sir Rick approached me to talk to you about adapting to online education, I assessed myself, am I the right person to talk to these students, to talk to these people on being adaptive? And then I found myself saying yes. And then after that, yes, I changed it to, I think so. And after that, I changed it to, why not? So yes, I think I can talk to you about adapting to online education or online learning. And I think I can relate to you because as Mitch mentioned earlier, I'm also a student. And on top of that, I work a full-time job. I am a faculty member. So I forgot to put that in my bio. I'm a faculty member of the Ateneo de Davao University. I'm a full-time faculty for the Management Accounting Department of the School of Business and Governance. Sorry, I forgot to ask. Can you hear me clearly? Am I clear to you?
Yes po, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, where was I? So I'm also a year level coordinator. That was a new task given to me or assigned to me. Okay, thank you, Mitch. That was a new task assigned to me for this school year. And the goal was to journey with the students. And as of now, it's going well. And we'll know that towards the end of the semester. I hope I can talk to you in my language. I want to talk to you in Taglish or in Bisaya. Wala may foreigner dire that I need to speak in English. Wala ba? Okay. Yes, ma'am. Is that for the question? Last question? Okay. Pwede ka mag-Tagalog, pwede ka mag-Bisaya, pwede ka mag-English. Right, Mitch or
Yes po,
Claire?
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Sige, allow me to share my screen. And this is a very short talk. Actually, I only prepared, I think, about 8 to 10 slides because I think I'm not the one talaga to push these concepts to you because as you all know by now,
nalalearn talaga siya. It goes with the time. Hindi mo siya ma-push and you can't change everything overnight. It's a process. So, yun. And then, parang I forgot to finish my thought kanina. So, yeah. So, I accepted after I received the invitation from NFJP to talk to you today. And I assessed myself. And after that, I also thought na, sige, why not? I want to share how I adapted to online education, not as a teacher, because that's a different thing. Grabe naman yun. Grabe na naman yung changes doon because the traditional method of delivering the lectures to you is through Blackboard exercises, through group or peer na discussion in class. So it changed from that to giving all the material seen parang this as discussed in PowerPoint presentation. So magkaiba na naman yun. But I want to share my experience on being adaptive as a student because as Mitch mentioned earlier, I am currently halfway there pursuing my Doctor of Philosophy major in ano nga yun? Development Research and Administration. And on top of that, diba, very confident, I also enrolled myself, actually last year pa, I enrolled myself in the University of the Philippines Open University. So I'm juggling I'm juggling my full-time work, my studies, my PhD studies, and I added another ano ba tawag dito, not a burden, but another folder in my portfolio. So nagdagdag na naman ako doon ng another course, and that would help me, I think, give head start for my career. So I also enrolled. So I'm juggling 3 different work ngayon. So I'm a student and I'm a teacher, and on the sides I have hustle something. So I also do sideline jobs for, of course, in line with my career. So I'm also the YLC coordinator. So andami, as in andami. So why did I accept? So yun, I think I can share 1 or 2 things, 1 or 2 insights sa inyo. And as we all know by now, wait lang, my screen is not moving. Okay. So as you know now, the Philippines is a jungle ngayon. In Twitter, grabe, parang every day, meron talagang reklamo about online class. When you follow the hashtag academic freeze now, or you follow the thread for online education, parang thrice as much, puro reklamo siya, puro siya rant on how it's ineffective, how it's not really about learning, how it's about just submitting all the requirements, FA. I don't know in other schools what you call your assessment, but in ADU we call it formative assessments. And I think I'm happy that Faye mentioned earlier na we have this very parang to borrow her term, over the top, pero I think kaya naman natin yon, that 100% summative assessment siya. So just think lang na parang ano siya, na parang dance contest, or in ADU Sayaw Tenista, that all your efforts, lahat ng practice mo, hindi yun graded lahat. Parang ganon. Imagine nilang na ganon siya. And then, yung graded lang talaga is your final performance on the day ng Sayaw Tenista. So parang ganon. So imagine mo na lang, every day na nag-answer ka ng formative assessment, it brings you to your goal to pass or to ace that summative assessment. So you just rewire everything, your mindset. So with this slide, I think we can all agree that COVID-19, this pandemic, has really altered the landscape of the academy. So this is not just in the Philippines, it's not just in Davao, but the whole world. So from all levels, actually, from preschool, we call that K1 preschool or kinder, they adapted, nag-change sila. So every day I see students, I think from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., nakaharap lang sila sa computer nila, and they go with it. So nag-change talaga even the postgraduate studies, all of the comprehensive exams are now online, and then all of the defense, the defenses are all online now. So we just go with the times. And actually, this is not new talaga, but I think we just have to adapt. And Philippine academic community, I think so far is really in that adjusting point. Kung tanawan mo siya sa graph, parang malayo pa tayo doon sa peak, dito pa tayo currently adjusting, and with all the resistance of the students now, not much sa mga maliliit, diba, sa mga preschool level, because they don't know what's happening. Parang they don't know the reality na ito na pala yung COVID, ito na pala yung cause niya, but we know and we are active. And you as adult learners, parang you are in the middle. Adult na ba ako because I'm at this age? Or student pa, or young pa ba ako, or teen pa ba ako because I'm still at school? So parang doon tayo sa ano na yun, level, parang you're bridging pa between the adulthood talaga and your teenage years. But this disruption, we call this disruption, has brought home the reality that modern, advanced educational systems that would deliver excellent content talaga and would engage students and teachers to interact has never been more significant. Ang problem lang, we all know that is significant, yung engagement. But the problem lang was learning was fun before. Kasi we have our classmates, diba? But the very foundation of that learning is fun has been taken away from us. So wala na tayong after school na pwede ba ta makayaw-yaw, good afternoon, sa man to, yun sa mata ng mga requirement, o yung mga anak, good na, sa mata na quiz, o yung mga atong gina-look forward, diba? Actually, the FAs or the formative assessments or the activities that is being given to you, kasi ngayon nangyayari siya, is actually much easier. Kung tanawan niyo siya in a very objective way, it's easier kasi hindi na siya ganun ka, ano yung requirement niya. Parang hindi na ganun kataas yung standard ng requirement niya. But ang problem is the fun was extracted from there. Wala na yung fun na mag-groupings pa ta, na mag-iluganay pa ta, na may mga drama pa in class, na meron nga isang student nag-answer na parang he misses or she misses, I don't know kung ano siya, he misses or she misses the laughter in class, na parang yung 1 hour na klase, half of that or 3/4 of that kwentuhan with the teacher. So that was taken away from us and we were forced to self-study. Actually, yun naman talaga nangyayari, di ba, dati pa. Parang in class, 1 hour and 30 minutes, you listen or the teacher enters the classroom and go on with the discussion, pero ikaw as a student, di ba, chika lamang yun ka with your classmate. Pero after that, tapos na yung class. Wala ka rin natutunan, di ba? Parang ganun, you write down the notes, pero actually, you parang associate the fun of that subject because of your experience in the classroom, not really with the teacher, not really with the topic. Because after you go home at night, balik, mapod ka sa uno, mag-start na mapod ka, di ba? Mag-study na pod ka the whole chapter. Pero pagka tomorrow, happy na naman. So actually yun, we were robbed of the whole experience of the fun classroom setting. But like me, I value learning. I don't want to come out of this pandemic. I don't want this pandemic to end na nandun pa rin ako sa first year of, kunwari, second year college. I don't want to come out of this after, let's hope, after this year, after 1 year, worst 2 years, or worst talaga super 3 years, na status quo ka pa din. So we have to continue. So whether we like it or not, there's no way talaga but to move forward. So ang daming quotes about that na there's no way to go, parang there's no way to finish something by parang ano nga yun, parang just go through with it. Tapusin mo lang talaga siya. So I don't want to come out of this pandemic na yung last ko na status was ganun pa din hanggang ngayon. So whether I like it or not, kasama ako doon sa summer, di ba? We are in the middle of a SEM. because yeah, in USEP you start at January and then finish in June. So I'm one of those students who bravely shifted talaga, overnight shift talaga from the traditional classes to online delivery. And then, grabe, after that, we have 50, actually 50, I counted it 50 plus na requirements. And we have to finish that by June. So, yun, grabe as in, and you have to assess lang talaga which of these are important. Asa ba diri ako ang magamit yun pohon. Pero eventually, persistence talaga, matapos mo lang talaga siya. So, yeah, I'll talk more about that later. Paano nangyari lahat yun, yung 50 requirements for the 4 subjects na yun, natapos ko in 2 months. So, yeah. And with that, the necessity of continuing our learning despite the uncertainties of the time, uncertain man yun ang time because even now, wala siyang clear, wala yung clear memo, wala yung clear guidance from the government kung kailan na ba tayo magbalik ng school. By November, pwede na ba tayo mag-second sem in school? Or by next year, pwede na ba? Actually, even us, the teachers, we don't know that. We are, we are given information lang as on a need to know basis. So we know that the second semester will still be online, and as much as it's sad kasi nga we look forward for Christmas parties, we look forward to giving gifts, mga ganong activities in school, but the reality is medyo delikado pa talaga siya because the numbers are still rising. COVID-19 is still here in our country, in our region. So dili pag yun siya risk that schools are willing to take. So this uncertainty and the necessity to continue learning despite all of these compels our systems, our educational systems, to pursue online education. So there is no other way. And the online education, actually, this is a very broad term. Pwede naman siyang distance learning, pwede naman siyang e-learning, pwede naman siyang modular learning. So ang dami. So we have to adapt. Kung hindi ito pwede, edi magliko ta. But we all know that the point is still there. So very important that you have a goal. So later I'll talk, paano yung goal, paano yun. And then that also gives rise to the fact that quality education, although online na siya ngayon, must be delivered regardless of place or time. So, kailangan gihapon that quality education on both sides ha. Quality education is not just the school or the materials given to you, because it's a two-way thing. So, give and take talaga siya. What the teachers prepare for you, what the formative assessments are for, dapat alam mo yon para while you're doing it, while you're answering the formative assessment, the student learning outcome is on top of your mind na ano ba yung goal nito? Because baka parang nag-answer ka god ng odd problem na sige, answer ka lang ng proof of cash, nabuo mo na yung whole table, kagawa ka na. But the question pala is, hindi kailangan tapusin, or the answer to the question pala is, makuha mo na sa start pa lang, hindi mo na kailangan talaga tapusin yung the whole proof of cash na table. So, yun, be intentional with your goals. So, yun. Again, quality education must be delivered regardless of place and time, and that is a two-way street. Hindi pwede na teachers lang talaga ang nag-give. And on your part also, kailangan po na you absorb what is needed and you retain the information that will give you a head start to your future career. So, wag mo isipin na short term na formative na ginastudihan mo lang ni siya for summative assessment. That's so shallow. Huwag kang mag-study na parang, sige, mag-study ko og cash. Mag-study ko audit of cash para sa formative assessment or para sa summative assessment, may ma-answer ako. Wag ganun. Ano ka talaga, i-throw mo talaga ng malayo. Dapat, pag board exam, ito yung mga topic na hindi ko na-studyhan. Because eventually, di ba, kaya nga tayo nag-accountancy or nag-management accountant because we want to be certified public accountants or certified management accountants in the future. So our goal are parang far-fetched pa, ang layo pa nun. Ilan pa, 4 years pa siguro yun or 3 years pa siguro yun. Tapos yung mga steps mo para mapuntahan yun, gina-throw mo lang sa gilid because you're not doing talaga what you're required to do or what you're parang at the minimum required to do. So, two-way street yung education natin. Hindi siya kami lang, kayo rin dapat. So, yun din, isipin ko rin din kasi student din ako, diba? Yung binibigay sa akin na course packs ng mga prof ko, kailangan din i-absorb ko din siya with the outlook na magamit ko to in the future. Hindi lang siya for an overnight task. Hindi lang siya for FA pagkabukas or pagka-tomorrow. Ang konyo ka, diba? Pero anyway, so actually, online education is not a novel concept in the Philippines. Hindi siya bago. Akala lang ng mga tao yun na parang, no, hindi talaga to mag-work, hindi talaga to effective, as in, walang natutunan ng mga students, parang nag-cause siya ng blank sa aming mental health, ana siya. But this is not new to the Philippines. Hindi lang aware that online education is rampant in most parts of the Philippines. So, in the Philippines, the University of the Philippines, Open University, or yung pamantasang bukas ng Pilipinas, University of the Philippines Open University, has been there since 1995. So that's 25 years of proof that online education works. So kahit ako, I'm in Davao and UPOU is in Los Baños. Naka-enroll ako, pero confident lang ko, Ana, ha? Pero I will make it sure na kayanan din ako siya. But yun, 25 years of proof na possible ang online education, and that's more than 1,000 so 25 years, diba? So thousands of people na talaga, of students ang nakagraduate na with that paradigm, yung online education. So possible siya. And now, tayo lang yung bago parang tayo yung joiner dito sa concept na to. Kasi tayo yung sanay tayo na may classmates, may hallway, may school, everything is tangible. Pero sa online education kasi, you're forced to be mindful, to be present, na alam mo talaga ginagawa mo. Hindi pwede na yung classmate mo lang nag-guide sa'yo. Diba? Ganun tayo usually na, hindi na ako magawa ng list or hindi na ako magsulat ng mga kailangan gawin. Nandiyan naman si or we have the group chat naman. So, pwede ka lang mag-go with the flow. Pwede ka lang magpasok na wala ka talagang na-prepare anything because before the class, pwede ka lang mag-copy ng answer, diba? Or mag-copy ng whole problem. So, in online education, walang ganun, hindi mo kaya, parang we were robbed of that experience. So, talaga, kamot yun ka na ikaw yun ang mag-sit yun ka and think ano mga kailangan kong gawin, ano yung mga kailangan matapos na by this day. So, deadline siya. So, since this is new to you, I think, I'm not sure of your academic parang schedule or other schools, but in ADU we started in June for the first semester. So we've been parang ilang months na ba tayo? Basta patapos na, 1 month to go na lang, and then we are done na with the first semester. So I asked some of my students, actually last summer I also asked them for a research paper I wrote for COVID also. So I'm happy that I have lots of respondents last summer, and also for the latest informal. So informal survey lang to because there are no numbers, puro lang siya words. So for this survey, I did an informal survey last week. I asked some students of their thoughts in online education because they have experienced it for some time now. So from summer hanggang the first few parts of hanggang ngayon actually of the first semester. So I asked them questions, but I won't post it or I won't show all the answers to you because that's against the Data Privacy Act. So I did a text analysis. I thematized, so nag-thematic analysis ako, and then I grouped them according to different themes. So I asked the first question, what do you think is the greatest benefit? So gi-ask yung mga students, diba, na very active in Twitter, ano yung sa tingin mo, ang greatest benefit ng online education? So they answered, ayan, first, flexible and self-paced. True. So some of the answers were, I think I have it here. Some of the answers were, pwede siyang makahiga lang while nagaklase yung teacher niya, or pwede kang maglaba while nagaklase yung teacher mo. Flexible siya, and then you can do it in the middle of anything you do. Pwede nga in madaling araw if you're if the school is capable of pre-recorded lectures, pwede mo siyang i-access anytime, and all the materials that you need are in that LMS na, or learning management system mo, in Google Classroom or Canvas or Blackboard, whatever you have there. So flexible. So very good, flexible, because ikaw ang magbuot kailan and ano lang yung gusto mong i-absorb doon, and self-paced siya. So you are, parang the idea is dili nakakailangan magkagrupo pa, or di nakakailangan magtanaw pa or mag-check pa with your classmates, because you can learn according to how you want to learn, when you want to learn. So self-directed, self-paced learning siya. So that's the first advantage daw. So number 2 is comfortable learning environment. So actually this one parang medyo disadvantage and medyo advantageous siya. So comfortable siya in a sense na hassle-free, because number 1, yung ibang student na hindi na sila naliligo pag klase mo ay 7:40 and ADO 7:40 or 9:20. 9:20, pwede ka lang mag-on ng computer mo or ng laptop mo 9:18. O, diba? Grabe ka, 9:18. So, klase ka na. So, wala ka nang gi-prepare. Unlike dati that we have to rush pa in traffic, we have to take a bath, we have to prepare our uniforms, our bags, and soldier on sa traffic, mga ganyan, mga commute na So, if you're from Taril, tas going to downtown, 2 hours or 1.5 hours na biyahe. So, wala na yun. Pwede ka na matulog, and then pagising mo, klase ka na. And then after that, sleep ka na naman, or during, di ba, sleep ka. Okay lang yun, wala problema. Self-paced and flexible naman siya. So, comfortable siya in that sense. Pero, that concept is a paradox. So, yes, advantageous siya, but sometimes it's a disadvantage kaya baka you're too comfortable na with your learning environment. And then yun, some answers then were the house or the home is not really conducive for learning, because unfortunately there are some students that needs to attend to some chores or needs to do this or do that on top of the hindi siya parang dati na if you're housed in a dorm or in a boarding house na your goal lang talaga is to go to school, study, go to school, study, ganun. And sometimes may mga extra pa kayo, but pero yun lang. We are not burdened by chores, mga sugo, mga manglaba, manghugas, magbantay og manghod or siblings, ana. And then there are times pag yun, may mga nabasa ako din na parang nabalik po sila grade 1 because their little siblings are in that grade level. So, ikaw na po ang tutor, di ba? Mga ganon. So, pwede siyang advantage, pwede din siyang disadvantage. Number 3 is, it instills daw self-discipline and responsibility. Because dito, ikaw na yung main actor dito. Dati kasi sa classroom, parang kailangan gyud ang teacher gyud ang mangugat gyud mi sa atbang na nasa harap gyud mi na mangugat gyud ka og explain ngano na siya, magsulat gyud ka sa board or mag-present gyud ka PowerPoint, pag Excel or anything that you need to do para lang ma-understand niya. And sometimes you have to repeat pa gyud the topic over and over again kasi marami pang nag-ask. But now the responsibility is thrown at you. So kailangan na gyud nimo og maging responsible sa imong time, paano mo siya i-manage, naagin na sa inyo ha. So, some people, actually most of the people saw that as an advantage, kaya siya nandyan. So, it instills daw self-discipline, which is true, and responsibility. So, for the disadvantage, So I did the same. So nag-thematic analysis ako. So 'di ba na-apply ko yung mga na-learn ko sa research. So nag-thematize ako for all the answers. So this three came up as the parang pinaka disadvantage of online learning or online education. Number one is lack of appropriate resources. So this is not new to us. This is not parang hindi siya nga bago na ano, because ever since pa talaga the start of this online shift to online learning and shift to online education, ito na talaga yung main problem natin. We don't have, some students don't have the appropriate resources. Ang iba walang stable internet connection. So ito yung mga pinaka nakasulat talaga doon na walang stable internet connection. If meron naman data lang, so limited lang din siya. And then, madami pa talaga ako na-read that sa cellphone lang, walang laptop. So, hindi ka talaga actually ma-motivate to go learn because kulang ka ng mga appropriate resources for you to thrive in online learning or online education. So, this is a sad reality. So, those of you who are able to attend this webinar, I think you are one of the privileged ones because on top of the normal school days, Monday to Friday, pwede ka pa talagang mag-internet ngayon na Saturday, di ba, mag-attend ka ng mga webinar. So you're very lucky na pwede ka pa mag-load, may capacity the family to parang source or to fund your education. So consider yourself lucky. Number two is lesser class interaction, and then this goes both ways. So there are people or there are respondents na sad daw sila because wala na yung may mga ano pa dito na inuman session after the exam, wala yun, and then wala yung class discussion na super bibo. Diba, sometimes we have group discussion, may mga role-playing, meron tayong mga debate, meron tayong mga, basta ang daming group activities na ang saya that you really look forward to. And there are some classes din talaga, subjects din talaga na sayang. Like, I don't know if you still have some, parang mga UMS, mga ganon, yung mga may role-playing, that may mga production numbers talaga. Sayang yun, di ba? You get to experience that. Ang masaya naman doon is yung backstage na fun, yung pag-prepare and all that. So, wala tayong ganun. We were robbed of that experience. So, sayang. And then, interaction also with teachers. So, unlike dati na, if you have questions, tapos naga-lecture talaga yung teacher, we can ask directly. Just raise your hand and then pwede ka na mag-ask. And then, pwede ka pag yun magpabilin after the class. If you're that determined to know the answer, pwede ka pa magpabilin after the class. And then you can consult pag yun in the faculty room whenever you have questions. So, ngayon, medyo, I think, shy ang mga student to ask questions. So, na-lesson also ang interaction with the teacher. So, meron talaga siyang time lag. So, if you have questions in your mind, kailangan mo mag-wait for some time. If you have emailed your teacher, if hindi siya available, you have to wait talaga na mag-answer siya. So that's the disadvantage. Parang ang tagal before ma-answer yung question mo. So, yun. Number 3 is, so ito daw, very sad, compromise quality of learning. I hope it's not true for you, pero baka. So, share naman kayo ng mga experiences. So, ito daw yung sabi, compromise daw yung quality of learning ngayon. So, I guess this is subjective. So, depende siya how you look at things. Pero, yun nga, nasad ako nang pagkita ko, ay, bakit ang wala daw quality yung learning nila ngayon. Siguro nga, we associate learning with our experience in the classroom, kaya ganon. Pero, of course, I'm biased because I'm a faculty, I'm a teacher. But for me, looking at the activity, same lang naman. Yun lang man din ang ginabigay sa atin. Yun lang. Hindi mo lang siya ma-experience with your classmate. Ma-experience mo siya at home. And then at home, nawala yung line between school and home and house. And then some people, pag yun, parang wala lang ako siya nabutang dire, but the home is not conducive because parang the school, ito yung saddest na nabasa ko ever. Sabi, parang ang ano niya, ang takbuhan niya is the school. Tas ngayon wala na. Parang they have a I don't want to say it, but toxic family. Parang ang daming family problems. So ngayon hindi na siya makatakbo to school. Wala na siyang avenue for everything. So that's sad. So siguro yun yung ma-associate natin with learning, the experience in school. That's why you think or you feel that it is compromised. But yes. Yes, Jericho, you want to say something? Okay, wala. Okay. So with all of that, I think I will move on to this one. So I also asked them, what do you want your fellow JPians to expect? So since na-experience niya naman yung online learning, ano yung expect dapat ng mga fellow JPians niyo na ngayon pa lang sila mag-start ng online education nila. So I did a word cloud of that. So gi-copy ko lang siya from that. So ito yung mga mga words na nandoon. So yan. So naka-highlight or naka-bolder or bigger yung mga words na medyo madami yung recurrence. So learning. May learning din pala, di ba? Pero baka negative pala na. But there is learning pa rin daw. And because there are also people that really thrive in isolation. May mga tao talaga na introvert talaga na they are now comforted na hindi na sila kailangan mag-interact with their classmates, hindi na sila kailangan mag-talk talaga. So, may mga nag-excel yun with individual work. So, siguro baka sila yung nag-answer nito, learning. And then, you should expect distractions. Daghan yun na. Especially that you're the Generation Wi-Fi, na parang everything you do needs connection to the internet. So, distraction talaga siya. So, ang problema mo lang ngayon is the distraction ngayon, yun yung avenue mo dati, yun yung parang way mo to burst in the world. Yun ang way mo na mag-rant ka talaga. So, ngayon, yun na rin yung, nandun na lahat, social media. So, dati, yung group chat nyo, pang barkada lang. Ngayon, yung group chat, pati school stuff nandun na siya. So, nawala yung line na yung social media is for social activities lang siya. Ngayon, pati school activities, nandun na din siya. So, kailangan mo talaga i-compartmentalize na sometimes I will use social media for fun. Sometimes I will use social media to learn. So, kailangan mo yun i-clear sa imong self. And then, also, self-study. So, self-study good siya because asynchronous man most of the time. So you're given the materials and sometimes the materials are seen as discussed, meaning yun na yun. And sometimes you're lucky if your prof will provide pre-recorded lecture or will provide the discussion for the problems or the solution to the problems. But if you're not, just don't dwell on the negative. Isipin mo lang na baka hindi siya ganun ka-important, baka hindi siya ganun kailangan i-retain. Kaya ganun lang yung binigay niya na level of effort. So you check. Kailangan mo balikan yung in our school, I don't know sa others we have this OIDP, Online Instruction Delivery Plan. So you go back to that plan or sa ibang school siguro course outline. So go back to that one. The syllabus. So go back to that one and check kung ano ba yung for every essential topic, ano ba yung required na matutunan mo. And ano yung mga topics na kailangan ma-retain mo. And if wala yun, hindi available yun sa school nyo or sa department na school nyo, go to BOA. So the CPA board exam, most of the time, yun lang man talaga yung basihan ng syllabus natin. So ano yung mga kailangan sa board exam para mapasa ko to, para maging CPA na ako. Ganon. So if wala gihapon, you assess na lang yun kung kanina ba dapat pa ba nyo na siya ma-learn or say self-assessment. And then yan, hard. Yes, it's hard. Procrastinate. So a lot of the time. Kasi nga you are faced also yung mode mo of learning, which is the laptop or the tab or the cellphone, is also your biggest distraction. So, pwede ka kasing mag-tab lang, diba? So, nandito yung Meet nyo or Google Meet or yung Zoom. Pero on the side, like what you do now, I assume, mag-Twitter ka or Facebook ka. And then you also play. Yung mga ganun. So, yun. Ayun nga very problematic. So, challenging siya also. And there are a lot of noises. And you have to have lots of patience. You have to be disciplined. Yan, ang daming activities, assessments, tasks, deadlines, and those are all true. So, kailangan mo talagang mag-create ng way. Kailangan mo mag-create ng plan for yourself kung paano mo to siya malagpasan. Because kailangan mo i-remember, this will pass. This is not forever. So, hindi forever na naka-online class tayo. And when we go back to the next normal, this is the new normal. When we go to the next normal, I assume it's blended learning na. So, at least, meron ka natutunan from your experience here na marunong ka na mag-study if binigay lang yung material sa'yo. Para when we go to the next normal, to the blended learning, dili na lisod kaayo mag-transition because there are times na ito lang yung schedule magpunta ng school and these materials will be given asynchronously. Ito lang yung i-discuss sa class. So you have adjusted well na because you did well in the new normal. Ayan. So I also asked them what not to expect in online learning. So if may expectation ka dapat, ano yung mga hindi mo dapat i-expect sa online learning? So this is what was this is the result. So, wag mo daw i-expect na easy siya. So, this is the very large word na naglabas dun sa word cloud text analysis that I did. So, this is not easy because it takes lots of self-control, self-discipline. So, yun yung mahirap, di ba? Ang mahirap is if ikaw maning kamot. So, ito, ikaw gid maning kamot as in. So, if hindi binigay yung discussion, kailangan mo ituro sa self mo. So, hindi siya spoon feeding also. So, hindi siya spoon feeding. Unlike dati na pwedeng pag nag-discuss na yung teacher mo, hindi ka na makinig. Hindi ka na mag-read kasi na-absorb mo na from the discussion and everything. But now, hindi. Kasi you're given the book, you're given the resources, kailangan mo na lang basahin yun. So, yun ang mahirap, di ba? Pag sa atin na binigay yung responsibility, mahirap siya. And then you also should not expect allowance. This is funny. So, huwag ka daw ma-expect ng allowance. Of course, kasi nasa house ka lang, di ba? And then, do not expect perfection. Because, of course, walang perfect. But your transformation is possible. So, perfection is not possible. But the transformation, your shift towards something is possible. So, baka pala, pag binigyan mo lang to ng time, pag binigyan mo lang to ng chance, na wag mo kasi i-block talaga na no, wala gid ko matun-on ani, wala gid ni siya, wala gid as in, di ko maka-learn ani. I-shift mo, why not? 'Di ba? Bakit kaya wala akong natutunan dito? Or bakit kaya ito yung feeling ko? Baka pala opinion to ng iba na naging opinion ko na din because I keep on reading the tweets, I keep on reading the negativity, ganon. So baka na-absorb ko lang yung feeling nila. So try mo muna, study ka. Kaya baka pala pagbasa mo ng teacher or ng prof mo, pabasa mo ng discussion niya on cash, na-gets mo pala siya. Kasi hindi mo binlock yung utak mo, hindi ka negative. So baka lang pwede, diba? So do not expect daw to have rest. So this is sad. So huwag ka daw ma-expect na may rest ka. Because kung I saw some memes na parang ang online class daw, ang traditional daw is parang 7, parang it's a clock. So 7 to 5, parang ganun. 7 to 5 or 7 to 9. Pero ngayon daw 24/7, which is true. Pero you can do something about it. Pwede naman na hindi 24 hours, di ba? Pwede naman na you strictly open everything lang, 7 a.m. Tapos after 5 p.m., huwag ka na mag-study, tapos ka na. Kasi yun naman yung na-allot mo for school. So pag 5 p.m. to let's say 9 p.m. or kahit nga madaling araw, maglaro ka. Mag-watch ka ng movie. Basta you know that you're done with everything that you need to do for school on that day. So hindi na naman kailangan na 24/7 siya. Gets niyo ba? So that is all on us. Depende yun na sa imo kung sundo ni mo makita ni mo social media or parang i-absorb mo na siya as your opinion. Pwedeng ganun. Ano pa ba? So do not expect the bonding, engagement, response. Ito yung sabi ko kayo na do not expect ka ng instant response from your prof and their classmates kasi we have different types of resources. Baka hindi pa nabasa or hindi pa siya connected to the internet, mga those things. Yan. And with all of those that I've said, I think, sobra na ba ako? Okay pa. So with all of those things, I think this is also true to me as a student. So I think I want to share to you how I adapted. So I read some things online. So of course, diba, I'm a Google person also. So nag-search ko how to adapt to online learning. And all of the pages on Google will give you lists and will give you non-physical things, mga non-physical ba? Mga physical things pala. Physical things or mga tangible things na kailangan mo gawin to adapt. But I think those lists did not address the actual talaga na need to be adaptive. So may mga list na nagsabi na you need to allot a separate parang corner of the house, or you need to create a space for you in the house. Kailangan mo maggawa ng mga ganito. But those are tangible things na after mo gawin, ano ngayon, baka hindi ka pa rin naka-adapt, diba? So, I really believe na yung being adaptive natin, of course, it's a skill, it's a soft skill that you have to pull from inside. So, hindi siya external talaga na your mother or your father, hindi siya hereditary. Hindi siya ma-absorb mo lang from watching me now or from listening to this now. So, after this one, of course, mag-social media ka rin, di ba? After this, mag-watch ka ng movie or mag-Netflix ka. So, depende yun siya. It's a skill, it's a thing, it's a construct, it's a concept that you have to pull talaga from deep inside para masabi mo that you are adaptive. So, I wrote here, I wrote here 5 things that I believe is what made me adaptive or what is making me adaptive. So hindi ako done pa kasi it's a process. So number 1 is to adapt. So ito lang, adapt. Number 1 is accept. So acceptance is very important. So I only put there accept because it may be a lot of things. So number 1, accept that you are enrolled. You are now in online learning. So accept mo na ito na yung fate mo. Ito na yung kailangan mo gawin. I-accept mo na kailangan mo mag-study every day. I-accept mo na kailangan mo maggawa ng mga requirements, mag-answer ng mga FA. And be aware na this is not for a lost cause. May purpose siya. So, i-accept mo that this is your now. So, halimbawa, i-envision mo na that you will become a CPA in 2 years or in 3 years, ba? 3 years? If third year ka na, 3 years or 2 years. So, I want to become a CPA. Pero hindi mo na-accept na mag-online classes ka ngayon. Parang grabe ka-resistant na mag-online class ngayon. So, there's a disconnect. So, hindi na siya congruent to your goal. So, para maging CPA ka, hindi man pwede na drop out ka sa school. So, kung nag-withdraw ka ngayon, hindi ka na patuloy ngayon, kahit na may capacity yung family mo to push your online education or push your education, pero nag-stop ka because ayaw mo lang. So, these are disconnect. So, paano ka maging CPA in 3 years or in 2 years if mag-stop ka ng school ngayon? So, the first thing talaga is you have to accept na in order for me to get to that point, kailangan ko ito lahat i-accept. So, i-accept ko na this is my reality now. Kailangan ko mag-study ng mga ganitong paper. Kailangan ko mag-answer ng mga case analysis. Kailangan ko mag-answer ng mga Kahoot, mga ganyan. So, i-accept mo lang and take it day by day. Ayaw yun og expect dahil na kanang imuhang nabasa karon kay dito, magamit mo talaga siya sa summative assessment. Baka pala hindi summative assessment yung purpose niya. Baka pala more than that pa iyang So mga intangible skills ang makuha mo from that assessment pala. I don't know if you got that, pero yun. So accept your reality. very powerful talaga yung now natin, yung acceptance natin of our reality now. Because that will give us, parang that will boomerang to the future. So kung ano yung future mo, that is the result of what you do now. So everyday process siya. Like, every day you wake up na, you breathe. Dapat after 2 years or 3 years, ano na ako, CPA na ako. And then that is, I think, what I look forward to every day. So there are times that I think, that I imagine, naisip ko lang, kahit ng college, I parang nag-study ako for, I think, a very difficult topic in odd problem siguro. So sabi ko, ano kaya feeling, no, na CPA na ako? So, anong feeling kaya after this one na hindi ko na kailangan mag-study nito? So, anong feeling na CPA na ako? Anong feeling na may job na ako? That I can pay for everything that I want. I want that I can eat and pay for everything I want to eat. Mga ganun na mga thoughts. So, yun, i-imagine mo yun siya. And then when you get to that point, ay, ganito pala yung feeling, no, na CPA na ako. And then from that, you transition, mag-step up ka. So, last year lang, sabi ko, ano kayang feeling, no? If mag-aral ako for, a doctoral degree or a doctorate degree. Ano kayang feeling na I interact with people way older than me? Kasi nga PhD, di ba? So, kasi nga pag PhD, di ba, usually you take it mga 40 ka na, 30 ka na. So, what if kaya, at this age, mag-PhD ako, ano yung feeling na I interact with parang advanced in their age na ng mga people? I know that now kasi I pushed myself to do that. So, alam ko na, ganito pala yung feeling. And I do that not every day, but every day that I'm aware na may kailangan akong gawin or I have I have parang a goal. So, ginaisip ko yun lagi. No? Ang next ko na naman, ano kayang feeling, no, na matapos na tong pandemic? So, anong feeling kaya ng first day of classes back in Ateneo or back in school or back in Davao when everything is normal again? Hindi siya normal again because iba na yung normal natin. So, I look forward to that. And you take lang yun it day by day. So, you accept. Yeah, that's the first thing. But this is not linear, ha? Pwedeng ngayon mo lang siya na-accept pero dati ka pa nag-enroll. Okay lang, walang problem because walang linear in life. Even time, di ba? Linear. Okay. Number 2 is be deliberate about your goals. So, kailangan, gaya ng sabi ko kanina, dapat you have a clear-cut concept talaga of what you want to achieve. So, pwedeng long-term yan. So, me, gusto ko matapos na ng lahat ng academic na parang hierarchy or parang steps that I need to advance in my career. So, gusto ko na matapos ng PhD, I want another PhD degree, I want another master's degree. So, pwedeng mga ganun. So, ikaw, ngayon, kung pwedeng gusto ko na maging CPA. So, in order for me to become a CPA, so pwedeng ganun ka-broad yung goal mo na matagal pa. Pwedeng in the future. So, strat plan ba? So, you apply lang what you learn in school. So, ito yung strategic plan ko in 5 years. In 5 years, I want to become a certified public accountant or I want to become a certified management accountant. And how do I get to that point? So, be deliberate. So, be very specific. Be very determined na yun yung goal mo. And then, after that, you can break it down into manageable pieces. So, ito yung goal ko. Para ma-achieve ko yan, kailangan ko mag-graduate. Para makagraduate ako, kailangan ko mag-take ng mga ganitong course. Para ma-take ko to ng mga course, kailangan ko mag-enroll. So, balikan mo. Ang ending, mabalik ka today. So, every choice you make leads you to your future. So, hindi siya actually na parang yung ginagawa mo ngayon. Wala siya, parang you feel na wala lang yung ginagawa mo today, pero everything adds up papunta sa goal mo. So, you set a goal for yourself. I want to become a CPA in 2 years or in 3 years. And then from that, you work back mo. Work back method. Squeeze mo siya. Ano ba yung kailangan ko in order for me to get to that point? So, every single step, mga quotable quotes, diba? A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And then, one day, hindi mo na alam na nandun ka na pala sa last. Ay, ito na pala yung feeling na CPA ka na, mag-oath-taking ka na sa Grand Menseng. And then, you have a picture na with your ID, PRC ID, and magpila ka na sa PRC para magpa-renew, mag-CPD units ka na. 'Di ba? So, be excited about your future. Be deliberate about your goals. Yun lang. And then, meron ka na agad motivation. Ay, sige, mag-study ako nito kasi ito, for sure, magawas na sa summative. For sure, magawas na sa board exam. For sure, after the board exam, hindi ko dapat siya kalimutan. Kasi if I want to become a CPA, we are studying what we'll do in the future. Hindi siya like other subject or courses na yung napag-aralan mo ng college, wala na siya, hindi mo na siya ma-apply in the future, ma-apply mo siya. So kung mag-audit ka, mag-SGV ka, kung ano yung audit of cash na natutunan mo sa ODPROB or sa FinAc or sa IA, yun pa rin talaga yun ang itsura niya. Of course, magkaiba lang siguro sila ng format, pero how you audit, how you count your cash, ano yung mga internal control, same yun siya. So it's an application talaga of your theory. So ngayon pa lang, aralin mo na. 'Di ba? Masaya nga 'di ba kay yung ginaaral mo ngayon, you know na hindi siya for nothing. Kasi alam mo na in 4 years or in 5 years, I will use this learning. I will use this concept. So, yun ang masaya sa atin as future CPAs or future CMA kasi hindi for nothing yung napag-aralan natin in school. Number 3 is I think with all of the goals and your daily life na nangyayari happening, you have to stop and assess yourself. Kasi always, 'di ba, we have this, if you implement the goal, so kunwari i-implement something, hindi pwede na go with the flow ka lang palagi. Kailangan mag-stop ka. Kailangan reassess yourself mo. You have to, this is part of the monitoring process. Kaya may audit, 'di ba? So, stop ka. I-assess mo yung mga self. You audit yourself. Am I getting closer to my goal or layo ko na? Isipin mo, gusto mo yung CPA. Pero ngayon, anong ginagawa ko? Twitter. Facebook. Ano pa? Kung ginagawa mo, naglalaro. I don't know your games, what your games are. I know ML, but I don't play. COD, hanggang. So, isipin mo yan pa naglalaro ka. Gusto ko maging CPA. Pero bakit ako naglalaro? Or tama ba na maglaro ako? Is this a reward for something I've done or something I've finished for school? So, pwede ka na maglaro. But you create the system na parang maglaro lang ako if na reward, parang as a reward because I finished all the FAs for this class. I finished all the activities for this class. Mga ganon. So, i-audit mo yung self mo. Tanawin mo kung yung line, yung goal mo, yung ginagawa mo towards your goal to become a CPA, nandun ka pa rin ba? In line pa ba siya sa daily activities mo? If halimbawa ay wala na, pila backlog ka, 100 nakabuo kang FA na nagtambak, mga to-do mo sa Google Classroom, wala. Oh my God. So, ayun dahil kaguol. So, pag-assess mo sa imong self, your assessment is either correct, pwede siyang maging preventive, pwede siyang maging corrective, and pwede siyang maging detective, di ba, application ng ODPROB natin. So, the internal control, pwede yan siyang maging preventive, detective, corrective. So, halimbawa, detect mo na, oh my God, layo na kayo ko, ang FA na ko, 100 plus na, wala na ko na answeran. Kasi mo, himuon, mag-cry ka, pwede. Pwede ka mag-cry, pero cry while you're doing everything. So, cry ka during that phase. So, until humana kag-cry, tapos na pagkasi mong FA. So, you create parang you detect what is wrong or what is right, and you correct. Ano ba yung correction natin? Hindi, wala lang other way, di ba? Gawin mo na lang yun. Pero if halimbawa, sabi ng teacher niya naman, okay lang yan, hindi naman yan required. Hindi mo talaga required, di ba, ang FA. Pero there is, of course, parang FOMO in all of us, yung parang fear of missing out na ako na lang yung hindi naka-answer nito, or ito, wala ko pa na-answer. So, pag tingin ko sa GC namin, tapos na silang lahat. So, the fear na naman of missing out comes in. And then, if that fear, you repeat it over and over again, may anxiety na siya. So, oh my God, layo na kayo ko, tapos na sila. So, every day, you subject yourself to fear na tapos na sila, and then layo na kayo sila, wala na kayo agi, tas ako sige lang ko Netflix, sige lang ko It's Okay Not to Be Okay, Alive, na good na mga, I don't know, the shows are ngayon na trending. But yun, so anong gawin mo? So correct everything. So Di ba? Ang ganda kasi may application siya ng ODPROB natin learning or ODPROB ba yun? O, auditing. Yeah. So, assess yourself, audit yourself. Next is be persistent. So, by persistence, we mean na never give up. So, katong ako yung kanina na once you detect na there is something wrong with what I'm doing, na parang layo na kayo ko, ayaw stop there and malugmok dahin ka, magdrama na ka, magwalling na dahin ka. Ayaw og give up. Be persistent. So, tanawin lang nimo, balik lang ka sa imong goal na dapat after 3 years CPA na ko. And then, I'm very independent na of my parents. Di na ako mga kwarta, di na ako kanang, when I go out, di na ako kailangan mag-allowance because I can pay for everything that I want. I can, I can fund my kakikayan. I can fund my, so yung mga luho diha. So, gusto ko mag-buy ng mga light stick, BTS, ana. So, go! Gusto mag-watch ng concert, go! Basta, tapos mo na yung parang minimum obligation mo to your parents na ipa-rest. Kasi kung hindi ka magtapos ng pag-aaral, some of our parents, very traditional. Although, ano yan, kailangan, yung obligation, they feel that they are obliged talaga to send us to school. So if you stop now and you withdraw from something, you drop out of school, you are also inflicting parang, ano bang gina-inflict mo sa kanila? Sadness or ano ba? Ganun magkakos ka ng something sa parents mo because they will feel na, oh my God, di na ko siya mapatapos or mapatapos na ako siya late. So, although we are not obliged naman talaga na kasi may mga movement talaga na mental health, so hindi ta required na matapos ta on time, pero look at the other picture. So, hindi lang ikaw in this world. So, you also have a family. May connection ka. So, network ka kasi. So, if, halimbawa, mag-stop ako ngayon, okay na yung mental health ko, maka-relax na ako, hindi na ako ma-stress every day, hindi na ako mag-cry every night for the FA. But, what will I cause other people? Ano yung mangyari sa parents ko? So, they will take another year or 2 years na po na work para mapatapos ako. So, just look at your actions as if you're a domino. So, yung gawin mo, may effect siya sa whole household. So, hindi lang ikaw in this world. Kahit na feeling mo alone ka, you are not alone. Hindi ka alone kasi you have your parents, you have your family. So, kung ano yung gawin mo, may epekto sa kanila. So, think about that. And if nakabalik ka na doon sa, okay, sige, I will push through this, I will never give up. That's when you become persistent. And that character, that skill, yung persistence mo, will be highlighted when you're demotivated. Kasi kahit wala ka ng motivation, pero if you're persistent, matapos mo talaga siya. So, iba yung motivation. Sige, inspiration, doon ng crush ko, or may synchronous meeting kayo, makita ko na naman ang crush ko, gano'n na mga things. So, if wala ka ng motivation, your persistence will push you through. So, yun yung maka-help sa imo hanggang finish everything. And then, when you look back, ay, ang saya, nakaabot na ako, nakakuha na ako ng diploma sa adukay. Ay na, dawat na gid na ako ang empty paper from Father Tabora. So, walang laman yung paper. Madawat na ako ang paper kay Father Tabora. Makabound ako. And then, maka-review na ako. Maka-board exams na ako. So, isipin mo lang yung future pag super stressed ka na for today. Kasi that will help you become persistent. And I think this is the last. After everything, so, parang embedded siya within everything that I've said is your thought process. So you have to rewire your thought process every now and then. So you revamp, ano ba mga other words for rewire? You change your thought process. So it's all about you and your thoughts. So what do I want to become? So mindset talaga siya, mindsetting talaga siya. And I want to become a CPA. Balik ko lang gid mo na siya. And question, how do you become a CPA? So you answer yourself na. So yung thought process natin will help us talaga to do everything, to accept, to be deliberate about our goals, to be persistent, to be able to come to the point na ma-assess mo na yung mga self. So, mind setting siya. So, what I do every day is, halimbawa, pag grabe na immersed ako sa work, halimbawa, feeling ko, oh my God, ang dami ng email, unanswered email, but of course, konti lang naman talaga yun. So, ang dami ng answered emails, ang dami ng questions sa Google Classroom, or I have to make this exam pa for the compre ng graduate school, I have to make this pa, blah, blah. So, imagine, I can imagine myself na for the next few weeks because I will start school na naman next week. So, ang balikan mo lang, meditation. Pero if you don't like that, pero you just breathe. Stop ka muna. And then you pay attention to your breathing. So that's what I think has helped me. I do parang mindfulness activity. I set my clock, I set my clock every hour. Just to remind myself, may alarm tayo lahat, diba? So I remind myself to breathe. So may 1 hour ako dyan. My students know this one because every time mag-klase kami, nag-alarm yung phone ko na parang breathe. So I just breathe. And then be mindful. Pay attention to your breathing na ganon. So it really helps. Parang makalma ang heart mo. I don't know if that will apply to you, but makalma ang heart mo. As in, makalma ka. And then after that, balik ka na naman. So, that's when you create a list. So, I also create a list every day, but not really every day kung hindi kailangan. So, what I do every morning or at night before I sleep is I create a list. And that list will be very, very specific. That's how I rewire my thought process. I put everything in paper. So, anong ginaisip ko? Anong gawin ko bukas? So, kailangan ko mag-ano. So, after that one, mag-study ako for this chapter. So, halimbawa, ang haba ng chapter na yun. Diba? Ang daming subsection. So, ang gawin ko, i-breakdown ako na siya na chapter. So, that's what I did sa summer nung nag-online class ako. So, kunwari, chapter on two-way ANCOVA, mga ganon, multivariate, blah, blah. Grabe ang terms. So, ganun kahaba yung topic. So, what I did was, sige, i-breakdown ko to. Para, okay, tapos na yung mga mababilis na chapter, yung mga mababilis na subsection. And then, automatically, your brain will tell you, ay, okay, ang dami ko na nagawa for today. Even if ilang pages lang yun. Pero, that's rewiring your thought process. Kasi kung ilagay mo doon, finish, chapter, chapter 15 of, Valix, ang haba ng chapter 15. Finish, mas malala kung finish lease accounting. Oh my God, how many chapters yung lease accounting? So that will demotivate you. Masad ka, oh my God, tagal ko matapos to. So what you do is you break it down. Bala lang mo po yung page, basta tapusin mo. Study objective of lease accounting. Requirements of lease. Requirements of, ganun. So isa-isahin mo, at least, you feel good whenever you check out everything, may isa-isa ka. And then for non-academic stuff that I need to do, I list, of course, I list it down on a separate note. And then i-analyze ko muna before finalizing the list. So i-analyze ko muna, meron ba ako ditong mga items that I can finish in 5 minutes or I can finish in less than an hour. So, halimbawa, nakita ko, answer, email, update. Super basic talaga ng list ko para makita ko at the end of the day na, ay, tapos na. Oh my God, ang dami ko na na-check. Ang dami ng pink. So, naka-pink highlighter yung para mga tapos na. So, ginaliitan ko talaga siya. Very specific. So, answer, ma'am, ganito, nag-email sa akin, answer, blah, blah. So, send this one. So, send, blah, blah. Tapos, pag feeling ko, ito na mga items will be done in less than an hour or in 5 minutes or less than that, ginauna ko sila. So, tapos na. So, pagtingin ko sa listahan ko, tapos na. Mayroon na akong 10 out of 20 to do na natapos. And then I feel happy. Tapos na for the day. But of course, hindi pa. And then one trick also, para for you to be able to finish all of the things in your list is to wake up early. As in, that did wonders for me. For those who can relate, mga may other than school, they have a job. They can relate to this one that waking up early gives you 3 or more hours in the day. So madagdagan talaga, okay? Kasi kung magising ka ng 10 a.m. or 9 a.m. Parang kung isipin mo, this is how I think ha, kung 10 a.m. na ako magising, 2 hours na lang yung morning ko, and that's sad. Kasi yung 2 hours na yon, I spend that one pa maghinuktok. So, sayang naman yun, mag-breakfast pa ako, So, I make it to, talaga, kahit nung quarantine, I wake up talaga at 5 a.m. 5 a.m. club. So, 5 a.m. Kasi pag 5 a.m., tapos, yung listahan mo, tig 5 minutes lang or less than an hour. 6 a.m. pa lang, half of the day, tapos ka na. That's the trick talaga that did wonders for me during the entire time of my PhD, di pa tapos, pero during the past sems for my PhD. So 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. pa lang before I do my exercise or may tapos na ako sa mga some of the things. So 'di ba maka-happy 6 a.m. pa lang finish ka na. And then if pag ikaw mag-stop, if you push pa talaga yourself half of the day or before lunch tapos ka na. And then you can start na naman or you can rest. Pwede ka na mag-rest actually pagkahapon. And that did wonders talaga as in. So I hope you can learn from that. So those are tangible things na pwede mong gawin. But if you put a lot of thought to it, be mindful about it, it can help you adapt. So again, you accept the situation. You accept that whether you like it or not, i-push mo ka sa mga parents na mag-enroll, diba? Whether you like it or not, the only way to reach my goal is to accept that I will be an online student, that I will learn from online learning. Be deliberate about your goals. What do I want to get out of this one? So I want to become a CPA. So this is how I get my goal. This is how I get this is how I get my diploma or my PRC license. And then every now and then, assess yourself na, tama ba? Dito na, papunta na ba ako doon? Or nalihis ako ng landas, baliktad. Nalihis ako ng landas. And then, if halimbawa, nakita mo na, okay, go, nawawala na ako, be persistent, never give up. If positive naman, go, be persistent pa din, push ng push ng push. So, it can be a positive or negative skill or character. And then, in all of those things pa talaga, rewire your thoughts every day. It is an everyday practice. And then, that will help you be adaptive. And I think I'm done. If you have any questions, you can write it down sa chat box. And, wait lang. Yeah, I think I'm done. I hope I gave you justice. Okay. Okay, I'm done actually.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am, for that very encouraging talk. And now let's proceed to the open forum. So calling the attention of all the participants, if you have questions, you can turn on your mic and say your greetings for you to be acknowledged. Or you can also type your questions in the chat box if there's a connection problem in your end. So anyone?
Anyone? Question. Ayun. Actually, wait. Ayun, I have one. Ayun, from UIC po.
Okay.
If you are given a chance as an educator to give one challenge to the students with regards to adapting oneself in online education, what challenge would it be and why? How can this challenge benefit or influence us in general? Thank you po.
Okay, so that was a very Miss Universe type question. So, okay, did I get the question right? What challenge as an educator would I give you? Tama ba?
Yes
And then
po.
I think I did not follow the last one.
Ulitin ko na lang po. If you are given a chance as an educator to give one challenge to the students with regards to adapting oneself in online education, what challenge would it be and why? And how can this challenge benefit or influence us in general?
Okay, I think that not necessarily a challenge to because I think you enjoy challenges, no? But what I advise my students, pero not really a challenge in general, ha? But what I assign as my formative assessment is that you create concept maps, and that concept maps or mind maps will help you define a topic. So I think that is challenging in a sense that you need to read everything and you need to connect every theory to one theory in order for you to have a big picture of a certain topic. And that would help you actually be more mindful, parang a step back to everything that you need to learn. And then from there, you can connect na, itong topic na to pala, kunwari, accounting for income tax. This topic pala is connected to one subject in taxation. So I can you see that as a challenge, or tama ba na challenge, or baka ang ginamin niya na challenge is mga TikTok challenge, but because I don't know any of those things. So yun, pwede yun, create your own learning strategy challenge. Pwede ba yun? Okay, Claire.
Yes, actually, ganun rin yung ginagawa ko, ma'am, sa school.
You create concept maps?
Opo, kasi
Diba,
mas madali siya maintindihan and makita mo yung overview niya kasi.
Correct.
So, mas madali siya
Yeah,
So,
that is also clear. Sorry for interrupting. That's also one of the few active learning techniques that's very parang beneficial for you in the future kay makita gid nimo, because not for now lang ha, but for all the future na mga assessment na kailangan mo gawin. Kaya halimbawa, i-create a concept map for lease accounting. So makita mo na doon, ito pala yung mga terminologies, and you can also see na ito pala how it connects with other chapters in the book. So yun, I'm happy that you're doing that, Claire, because that's one way to learn actively. Okay.
Actually, effective rin siya, ma'am, kasi kapag example, pag final exam na, syempre, cumulative na. Kapag cumulative na siya, hindi mo na talaga siya ma-study isa-isa. So,
Correct.
At least makita mo yung overview niya. Parang, tama, ganito lang pala yun siya. So, medyo madali na siya i-understand compare sa isa-isa talaga.
I want to commend you because I hope you're not throwing it away, or are you keeping it?
Yes, actually, well,
so you create a folder of that. You create a folder of that because you can bring that sa review, sa CPA review. Kasi doon, hindi mo na mabalikan talaga yung libro because you'll be given another set of material. And those materials are not as in-depth na compared to the Valix book or other books. So doon, overview na lang siya. So hindi na siya i-explain talaga. So if you have your concept map, ma-relate mo na siya na, this is the salient points of the topic. So parang mo na siya, mas madali lang for you to remember kasi ikaw gumawa. So I'm happy for you. Yeah.
So sa mga iba rin dyan, don't worry rin since iba-iba man talaga tayo ng styles, but it will really help if you tried it. So ayun. Okay. Any questions? Like may question pa ba kayo, guys? Hindi masyado na kasi detail binigay ni ma'am. Na-explain lahat ni ma'am. So kaya ata wala na nagtatanong, para satisfied na ata.
I think my question, hindi pala the question. We are grateful for your
Okay, so meron pa ba? Guys?
Wala na.
Wala na ata. Nabigay na kasi lahat ni ma'am. Wait. Meron na. How do you manage work and ACADS? Yun po. May nag-ask
How
po,
do I manage?
Yes.
Okay, that's a tricky part. So what I do is compartmentalize. So hindi ko siya para ko sabi sa'yo, hindi na ako siya isagol. So I have a separate list for what I need to do for my job and what I need to do for school. And I make sure, I don't know your working schedule, but for me kasi I work Monday to Friday for ADU. And then I go to school Saturdays. So I make sure that everything I need to do for school, for my schooling, I do before parang before Saturday. So I allot, nung dati, I allot 1 hour, 2 hours every night for my PhD requirements. So yung 1 or 2 hours na yon is mabilis lang. But my trick is I go to YouTube, pero hindi to watch vlogs ha. I watch kasi I also have difficulty concentrating, lalo na pag naka-social media ako. So mahirapan talaga ako magbalik, go back to what I do. So what I did was to change everything. So yung social media, yung YouTube, ginawa ko siyang academic friend. So I search study with me videos. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but I watch study with me videos. So I have parang several videos downloaded. So meron akong for 1 hour lang, for 2 hours, for 3 hours. Ang pinakamalala, 7 hours. So I have that saved in my tab. So nakasave in lahat para kailangan ko magawa ng assignment ko for this one. And I think it will take me 2 hours. So I'll play without anything. So I'll play naka-silent na lahat. I'll play yung video. So I follow several YouTubers na yun ang ginagawa nila. Are you familiar with that? Study with me videos. So i-play ko lang yun for 2 hours. And then sometimes they have Pomodoro technique. Sometimes I don't like it. So iba na naman ang i-watch ko. So Pomodoro technique is you do things in interval. So 25 minutes. After that, you take a 5-minute break. After that, you go back again to 25 minutes and then 5-minute break until you finish the 2 hours or 1 hour. But sometimes it's 50-10. So 50 hours, 10-minute break. 50 hours, or 50 minutes, 10 minutes break. Mga ganon. So it's very effective. And I find myself, ang ginaisip ko is, oh my God, tapos dapat before the 2-hour mark, before naka-bell kasi yan, ganun yan siya. So after that mag-bell, matapos ko na rin yung work ko. And after that, I'm done. Tapos if mahirapan ako mag-motivate sa self ko, I compare it to mag-watch magani ko isa ka episode. So kaya ko i-watch na isang episode. So sayang naman yung 1 hour ko, 'di ba? Kung mag-watch ako ng episode na yon. But after that, yung episode na yon will not help me become a CPA or will not help me become so if I go back to this episode, mga ganyan, if I go back to this moment, tapos pinili ko ito over this one, sayang. So, yun yung motivation ko. Ay, sige, okay, mag-watch na lang ako. And after that, I will reward myself with that episode. So, ganun siya. It's a balance lang talaga na you have to know your priority. You have to know your goals.
Yes, actually, tama yun, guys. Do the Pomodoro technique. If you know what Pomodoro technique is.
Yeah.
So, it's actually, same yung kay ma'am. Kay ma'am lang is 50 minutes and 10 minutes na rest. Merong iba sa Pomodoro is 25 minutes and 5 minutes na rest. And then, after that, actually, effective siya. Yes, actually, effective siya, diba? Let's proceed to the next question. May I ask po, Ma'am Kay, after being a CPA, are you the one financing for the studies you have been taking so far?
Yes. Oh my God. I'm happy. I intended to say that na, oh my God, the pinaka-achievement of my life was to finance myself. Yun, after I got a job, tapos na. So, yung parents ko, although I'm not obligated to give back agad-agad. I'm happy also na hindi ko kailangan mag-finance ng I'm privileged enough to be independent. Na hindi ko kailangan magbigay na every month or hindi ko kailangan paaralin yung kapatid ko na ganyan. I'm happy also na I'm privileged like that. But after talaga getting a job, all of my expenses, everything, ako na. So even my studies, ako na din. So yun lang. Because sometimes you have to you have to juggle lang everything. Pero that's the pinaka masaya, parang the greatest achievement of my life after becoming a CPA is to be financially independent. So pwede ka nang as in super. I can express it, pero yun as in super great achievement siya. And then you can eat whenever you want, whatever you want, mga ganun. You can skincare, mga routine mo, ikaw na bahala. As in pera mo na talaga yun. So pwede yun ang motivation mo. Thank you for that. Pwedeng ganun, no, na you have to be financially independent. So para makuha ko yung goal. ano man ako, mag-CPA or mag-work. After ko, para work back. So, di ba, gamitin niyo yung, yung pagka-CPA natin na work back technique siya. Na hindi ka bigla lang naging CPA. Hindi siya overnight lang na pagising mo, ay, CPA na ako. Pero, you should be excited na, ano kaya feeling no, na pagkagising ko sa umaga, ang gina-prepare ko na is for my graduation. Yan. So, diba ang saya? Isipin mo lang na, oh my God, this day will come na maging CPA na ako. Pagising ko, iba na yung stress ko. Hindi na about FA, about na sa work ko. So, look forward to that day. And then, maka-help yun siya rewire your thought process.
Yes. So, thank you, ma'am. I think that's the question since wala na rin naman nagtatanong. So, Migs?
All right, so if there's no more questions, let's move to the second part. And by the way, ma'am, thank you, ma'am Mosqueda, for that very informative and very encouraging talk. I mean,
Thank you also.
I like the part when man mentioned what are those things that we can do or what we can do to cope up with this new normal setup. So one word na tumatak sa akin is adapt. So that's
Same.
basically the word that we need to remember, adaptability. So if we want to survive, then we need to adapt and then visualize our goals and then work for it. Kasi as what man mentioned in the first part of the talk, time is uncertain. So let's learn to proceed without certainty. How about you, Abby? What's your mga takeaways from
Yes, actually, gusto ko rin yung adapt, no? Accept, deliberate, assess, persistence, and thought process. So, and also I like the part na you should really have your goal because your goal will really navigate you through your journey. Because kung wala kang goal, kung hindi mo naman parang gusto maging CPA, parang pa-circle-circle ka na lang na, parang, anong tawag nun? Ito, gagawin ko muna ito since parang hindi mo naman goal na parang pumasa or makaproceed sa next level. So, dapat you should have a goal and then with that goal, dapat meron kang paunti-unting yung mini goals or mini steps na gagawin for you to achieve that goals. So, ayun.
Agree. 100% agree. So, yeah, marami tayong natutunan for today's webinar. I'm very privileged enough to hear that very encouraging talk from ma'am. So, moving on, may we call on our Secretary General, Ms. Kay Havillana, to present the certificate.
I think si Daisy Mistula is the one presenting it.
Daisy. Oh, okay. Pardon.
Certificate of Appreciation is presented to Rachel K.B. Mosqueda, CPA MBA, for imparting her invaluable contribution as resource speaker during the NFJPIA Academic Festival webinar on the topic Adapting to Online Education, held on September 12, 2020, given this 12th day of September 2020. So signed by yours truly, your President, Abigail F. Gonzalez, Regional Vice President for Academics, Joshua Noel B. Chagan, and also our Regional Moderator, Sir Rick Nicholson Nazaro, CPA. So, clap, clap. Thank you so much, Ma'am Rachel.
Thank you also for inviting me. Thank you, Joshua.
So, again, thank you once again, Ma'am Rachel, for accepting our invitation to be one of our research speaker for this academic festival webinar. Before we end, let me call on our VP for Academic, Mr. Joshua Jagan, for his closing remarks. Let's give him our virtual claps. Josh?
Yan. So, good afternoon, guys. So, sa mga wala pa nakakita sa akin, I'm Joshua Noel B. Chagan, the Vice President for Academics of NFJPIA Regional 11. So, hindi ako gumawa ng script and I just want to talk casual. And short lang to. So, first, I want to thank the people, the participants, the local chapters, the speakers, our sponsors, and my working team, Execom, and my fellow regional officers, our moderator din, for helping me create this event successful. So, thank you guys. And also guys, pansin nyo naman yung improvement of the webinar. So from the start of the webinar, August 30, si Pace Journey, doon tayo sa Google Meet and nakaano kami ng ganda yata kung sa Zoom eh. So doon namin try na i-change sa Zoom. So yun, maganda naman rin sa Zoom guys, and grateful, maganda na premium account. Yan. And also, pansin nyo rin, may music na ngayon. Yan. So for the past webinar, wala pa music. and may live stream natin sa YouTube. Hello guys. And so yan, kung gusto nyo i-watch ang mga guys, replay, you can visit the YouTube live stream. Yan. And I hope guys na the different webinars, especially yung mga participants na from the start, nandun talaga si Pace Journey, Counting Research, Data Privacy Act, train law updates, and mental health and pandemics, and the adapting to online education will help you in your journey talaga, and now and in the present, the future, and hope na you will gain mga lessons from the different speakers. So yun, sila talaga ang gitap namin because we believe that they have the skills and abilities, yan, and rin character, lessons that they have, the knowledge that they want to impart to you guys. So thank you guys, and I hope guys that you will participate in the different activities that the region will be preparing in the future. So yun siya guys. So thank you, and God bless everyone.
I'm lagging. Ayun. So, yes, thank you so much, our VP, VP ACADS. Gosh, thank you so much. So, thank you so much, guys. Wag muna kayo mag-alis. We'll have, yes, pictorial muna. So, yun, pictorial muna tayo, ha? Okay.
Yun, pictorial, favorite part. So since we have ended our webinar tour, while waiting for the other to turn on their cameras, let's watch these teaser videos for the upcoming events. Uy, may pa-teaser tayo abing nga na. So
meron.
Okay, so let's see.
Ayan, kita na. So, ayun, may pa-TikTok pala si NFJPR Region 11 Sotonawa. So, guys, if you have friends na mahilig mag-TikTok, tap them, guys. And then, don't forget to follow our social media accounts for you to stay updated and tuned.
Ayun, may mga TikTok challenge tayo. Now, going back to pictorial. So
okay, naka-on na bang camera?
Naka-on na ba?
Turn on your
Alright,
camera.
so let's wait for all the participants to turn on their cameras.
Ang
Ayun.
ganda, ang gagwapo.
Nice.
Ayun. Yung iba hindi pa naka-turn on. Turn on na, people. Huwag kayo mahiya. Nag-aayos pa ata sila. So while waiting for the others to turn on their cameras, baka gusto niyo magpa-shoutout tayo, guys. Ilagay nyo lang kung sino. Ano ba?
Shout out.
Pa-shoutout tayo. Shoutout ako. Alaga Manong ay heart to heart to.
I think kanina may nagpa-shoutout. Si ano yun? Si Christy Jane Haresco. Shout out kay Christy Jane
Shoutout.
Haresco from... Ayun na.
Ayan, wait. Naka-on na ba lahat? Yung third page at fourth page part sa akin, di pa naka-turn on. Yan.
I think...
Paano ba to, Josh? Ano na? G na ba to?
Yay. Print screen ko na. Sige, so 1, 2, 3, smile. Print screen. Okay, wait lang, copy paste ko muna. Okay, so sa second batch. Yan, okay, second batch. Smile. Yan. Okay, ay wala, last. Okay, sa third batch. Okay. Third batch. Ito kasi ang ano ito. Third batch kay wala mong naka-on pero sige lang. Picturean ko lang para ano for documentation purposes. So, smile. Yan, okay, so done na.
Okay, so tapos na for pictorial, right? Okay, tapos na for picture taking. So thank you so much to all the participants na umattend sa ating webinar today. Please don't forget to answer our evaluation forms that is attached to the chat box. And thank you for flying with Sutunawa Airlines Flight 2020. We hope you enjoyed this webinar tour as much as we enjoyed taking you beyond borders. Once again, I am Juan Miguel de Castro.
And I am Clara Abigail F. Gonzalez, signing off.
4:20 p.m.
Yun.
Para yun. So that's it. Thank you so much, guys.
Bye.
And don't forget to answer the evaluation forms, okay?
Yes, aga natin natapos.
420. Oh, wow. Ilang participants?
Yes.
Ay, ayun na. Nag-leave na yung iba.
64.
64. Going down. Ayun.
Yun. Thank you so much. Thank you. Kayla. Ano? Kalokohan mo.
Wala ba?
Hi, friends.
ang
Hello. Jonah Crush mo ko.
ha?
Hi, crush. I-shoutout kayo sa akin kapag content na. Ay, wala na. Nag-leave na si crush. Ay, wala. Ay! Dogo.
Ay, sadya ko.
Dogo. Hi guys, welcome to Josh, tama na Josh. Huwag ka naman Josh, huwag ka umalis. Huwag niyo mo na i-end. Tapos naka-record, naka-live pa tayo. Oh my gosh!
Hi everyone, it's Daniel J. I don't know.
Bye! Thank you once again, Mix. Thank you.
Bye,
Upload
guys.
stream ko na.